Welcome back, Knicks fans. Want to recap today's game, Knicks versus the Pelicans. Got to tip your hats off to the Pelicans. They were without two of their star players today. They didn't have Ingram or Zion Williamson. They were also missing Garrett Temple. I think Garrett Temple is with them. And without all those players, very good players, they still put up a fight versus the Knicks. They played with a lot of heart, and I think the Knicks are starting to bring out the best of every team that they face now, right? And so that's a good thing. And the fact that the Knicks are actually withstanding the runs from these teams, it is also really impressive. The story of today's game was R.J. Barrett. The fact he took over this game late in the fourth quarter and put the game away. He had a great game today. He was 12 of 18, 6 of 8 from three. But the real story was late in the fourth quarter today's game. We basically were forcing it to Julius Randle, trying to force the offense through Julius Randle. I think we did it a couple of times. It didn't work very well, and so luckily, it seemed like they learned a lot from the Chicago Bulls game, and so they went away from Julius Randle and actually went to R.J. Barrett, who was already having a very good game, and so definitely an important lesson that was learned from last game. Look, Julius Randle is not the only playmaker on this team. He is our best playmaker right now. He still is our best player. However, it's you have other options. You have R.J. Barrett. You also have Evan Fournier. You even have Kemba Walker out there on the court. So it was a really good thing to see today that they decided to go to R.J. Barrett. The best thing about it too is the fact that he was calling for the ball. He wanted the ball in that situation, and as soon as he hit that first three, he tried to quiet the crowd. He actually basically put his hand over his mouth and was trying to shush the crowd. So that was really interesting to see. He was showing a lot of bravery and moxie there when he did that, and so that was pretty nice to see. It was very refreshing to see it, and yeah, this guy, he has the look. He's always had the look of a stone cold killer on the court. We're just waiting for it to get there, and the reason why he's starting to get there now is the fact that he's finishing at the rim. The fact that he's finishing at the rim basically gives him the confidence to continue going to the rim. And then also the fact that he has Mitchell Robinson there, especially on those pick and rolls, it helps create an easy lane to the basket, and then it gives them a lot of option. It's almost like when it's a pick and roll with him and a big man, it's like there's not much you can do at this point. And that's because he's finishing at the rim. And then also he's getting free foul calls. Also, if he's going to continue going to the basket, he's going to get these foul calls, and he's going to get a lot more free throws. And so what all this does, it increases his offensive efficiency. Last year he was a net negative. His net rating was negative in 20 last year, 2020, 2021. And I have a feeling this year is definitely going to be positive. I did a video before that I said, he's going to be one of the second biggest reason why our net rating for the team as a whole is going to improve. Last year I think it was like -5. His net rating was like -5, and he was basically was getting the most minutes on the team. And so, but that was because of his offense and because he was missing layups. But now this year he's making layups. Now he has the confidence to go to the basket. I mean, look at this. I mean, they can't do anything with him. Even they play him physical. He's still able to. His handle is strong, and they forced a baseline double came, and he was able to swing the ball out to Kemba Walker for a three. He's starting to become. He's starting to become our best playmaker. Early in the season, he struggled to finish at the rim a little bit with a couple of the games. Not all the games, but a couple of the games, and I made it clear. And the Knicks made the adjustments. They made the adjustment early in the season by, okay, we'll allow Evan Fournier to basically run that pick and roll action with Mitchell Robinson, and see what happens, because that is the strength of this team. They have guys that can actually make plays, and they can actually attack the basket. And then on top of them being able to attack the basket, when you roll into the basket either with Taj or with Mitch, I mean, like, these guys finish very well at the rim. And so it's just like that's a strength for this team. That's a huge strength for this team that nobody's talking about. Everyone talks about the three-point shooting, but our ability to actually get into the paint. The fact that we have a ton of guys that can get into paint and a ton of guys that can finish in traffic. That's basically is going to be the big story of the season at some point. But right now, obviously, is the 3 point shooting. That's what everybody's is in love with. Is talking about with the Knicks. So overall, we shot 42 of 81 from the field, 19 of 33 from three. We shot 52% from the field and 57.6% from three. We scored 123 points. We grabbed 37 rebounds. And the Pelicans, I think, grabbed 43s. And so we were basically we lost a rebounding battle, and actually that's one of the reasons why the Pelicans were able to stay in this game. Rebounding is a very crucial aspect of basketball, especially defensive rebounding. If you don't finish off the possession with a defensive rebound and you give opponents more possessions, that directly correlates with the team's ability, the team's performance, right? And so you want to limit the amount of opportunities the other teams have, and that's why it's important to always win the rebounding battle. And so this game we lost a rebounding battle, and so it was a little bit of a disappointment. And so the other story of the game actually was our defense. We really struggled on the defensive end. So let's go to the advanced stats. And one of the things you would see very quickly is like all of our starters had very terrible defensive rating. Everyone, their defensive rating was above essentially 124.6. Mitchell Robinson was the lowest. It's just everyone just played it, didn't do very well on the defensive end today, and hopefully they can clean that up. The Pelicans are a very, they are a talented ball squad. They're very talented. They were talented last year. It's just they just can't seem to get it together, and I think a lot of it. The problem with the Pelicans actually, I think it's the coaching. You just need a coach that can actually drive these guys hard and really teach them, and get them, and help them understand like how the game is supposed to be played. So the Pelicans, they're very talented, and so they put up a great fight, put up a great game, and so we can't really can't really discount the effort that they put forward. Our second unit's defense was actually very good. It was very solid. Obviously they're playing against backups, but our second unit they're our backups themselves, and so you have to be very impressed with the defensive effort from the second unit. They've done. They always. They've. I've been talking about it the whole year. It's been very impressive. Derrick Rose, his his effort on the defensive end this year has been like very impressive. And not just Derrick Rose, actually. Alec Brooks is the other person I've been very impressed with his defensive efforts, and Emmanuel quickly. So all of our guards has been really have done a great job on the defensive end. Obi Toppin has been very solid defensively. There's been times where he struggled with team defense and also with helping with rebounding or even boxing out. So that has been an issue for him in some games this year. And actually, I think that's one of the reasons that we've seen where his minutes has actually dipped a little bit again. Although today he played more minutes today than he normally played the last few games. But he played better today on the defensive end and did a pretty good job. And but the issue for us today was our defense, and hopefully the Knicks can, the coach can take a look at it and they can figure a way to to do better the next time. With Mitchell Robinson, he had his hands full with Valanciunas. Valanciunas is, he's a very good big man. He's got a ton of moves and he can shoot, and so it's a very tough cover for anyone. However, the combination of having to deal with Valanciunas and then also playing the help defense, and so when he rotates on a pick and roll, basically our team didn't do a very good job covering for Mitchell Robinson when they didn't do a good job rotating back over to Valanciunas to either deny him the pass to him, or something, So so it wasn't really. I can't say it's all Mitchell Robinson's fault. However, this wasn't his best defensive performance. There were times where I saw guards that actually they were able to get into the lane and score Mitchell Robinson, and normally that doesn't happen. And so he was probably shocked that these kids were driving on him too. but but it is what it is, and so hopefully we do better on the next game. So Julius Randle, I thought he played a very solid game. He went 4 of 9. There was a couple of times he forced a couple of shots. I thought that wasn't very good shots. And however, Julius Randle essentially has been getting double teamed every time he has the ball, and so he's doing a good job trying to exploit the defense when that happens. And so it's he's been having a very tough go at it. However, it's because he's seen a lot of double teams and he's just trying to figure it out and trying to get comfortable in this kind of setting. The other thing I've noticed too, our teams are playing smaller defenders on Julius Randle, so they play smaller defenders on him, and then they basically just straight runs a double team at him, another help defender, or they'll have a help defender shadowing to help in case Julius tries to get into the paint. They've been playing him very physical. There is a couple of times where he just like bully balled his way into the paint, and just to try to get the bucket. It worked a couple of times, but the other times didn't really work for him. They've been very physical against Julius, and the thing that's really interesting, they're not really giving him a ton of foul calls, and so I think that's the other problem that we're having, that he's having this year, and so can't be too hard on him. The only thing is obviously down the stretch, he shouldn't be forcing the offense through him. We don't have to force the offense through Julius, especially down the stretch when he's being double teamed, and especially when he's struggling the way he is right now. The one thing I do have to say that was an issue, Julius Randle has played great defense. He played great defense last year, and earlier this year he's been playing pretty good defense. But there's been a couple of times where I've noticed he doesn't get back on defense, either when he doesn't get a foul call or when he misses a shot or whatever. Because at least twice I saw today he didn't get back on defense, and so that was very disappointing to see. They have to address that. Uh, you miss a shot, you need to get back, and play defense. Because every time he didn't get back on defense, the other team actually was able to score because uh, we were essentially playing 4 and 5, right? And so he needs to be a little more aware, and also just get back on hustle back. You have to hustle back. Mitchell Robinson, like we said, not his greatest defensive performance, but overall he played a solid game. Evan Fournier 6 of 14, 5 of 8 from three, very solid game. Scored 19 points and shot 63% from three. One thing I did notice, he struggles when you playing physical, and so he did miss quite a few shots once he got within the free throw line. When he got bodied up, he just he would miss the floaters. And so also I noticed when he's basically in the wing and if you're playing physical, he tends to lose his handle sometimes. And so I think he's just trying to adjust to that, and he's still trying to adjust to this new offense. But with all that said, he still played a very solid game, a very good game, and he does what he's supposed to do. He helps keep help us stretch the floor. Kemba Walker had a very good game as well. R.J. Barrett was basically the MVP, and Kemba Walker was basically his Robin. So he played a great game again today. He hit some very crucial 3 pointers when we really needed it, and so he's just been playing lights out. He's 6 of 11 from the field, 55%, 4 of 7 from three for 57%, and scored 19 points. Like I said, Derrick Rose had a slower game today, 2 of 6, 1 of 2 from three, and for 5 points. But his defense was very solid. But on offense, he wasn't able to really get into the groove. Taj Gibson was 5 of 8, and he grabbed 7 rebounds, scored 13 points. What can you say about Taj? He's an old man, and I don't think anyone was really expecting him to play a ton of minutes this year. However, he's able to get it done. He still gets it done, and he's playing like 20 minutes a game. It seems like so, and he's still getting it done. And so it's been very impressive to see him work at his age, and the fact that he's in such great shape. Alec Brooks 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from three for 10 points. Very solid game. Alec Brooks very good defense again. I gotta keep saying this. Alec Brooks' defense this year has been very impressive, and I've been very impressed with it. Emmanuel Quickly, same thing with Emmanuel Quickly. Emmanuel Quickly struggled today. It was only 1 of 5, but Emmanuel Quickly's defense has been very impressive. As you notice, I think there was one point when we were struggling with Kyrie Lewis. Derrick Rose was struggling with Kyrie Lewis, and Thibodeau switched off and had Emmanuel quickly guard Kyrie Lewis. I mean that that tells you something, And so Emmanuel quickly, his defense this year, all of our guards, Alec Brooks, Rose, and quickly, their defense has been it's been stellar. I've been very impressed with it. Kobe Thompson's also played a very solid game. He was 0 of 1 on the score 1 point, grabbed 2 rebounds. However, he played pretty solid on the defensive end today, so couldn't really complain too much about his performance today. Okay. I think I may have mentioned it earlier. One of the themes for us this season, one of the goals is to basically attack the paint a lot more because we do a pretty decent job finishing in traffic at the rim. And so today's game, we didn't really get a ton of shots at the rim today. We only got 16 shots at the rim and made 14 for basically 88%. That shows you, like I said before, the Knicks, they finish pretty. Not the whole team finishes strong at the rim. I'm not going to say that. However, we have some players that can basically finish strong at the rim. We have obviously Mitchell Robinson, and we also have Julius Randle who can finish in traffic at the rim. And so, but now with RJ Barrett playing much better and finishing at the rim much better, even in traffic, it's going to be a point of focus for this team. Everyone is looking at the 3 point shot. However, look out look out for Nick's ability to actually finish at the rim, and I think they're probably going to end up being one of the league leaders in points at in the paint. And I think we're already the league leader in percentage or efficiency at the rim. I think we're already one of the league leaders, or are the league leader for that. So we're just keep an eye out for that, and I think that's going to continue, and that's going to be a huge strength for the Knicks. I don't think people are really realizing. Everyone is looking at the 3 point shot, but the Knicks, they can get to the rim. They can get to the cup at will. They have players that can get to the cup at will, and it's going to be a big problem for the league. Like I said before, this team has taken a huge step forward. God forbid if Julius Randle figures his shooting out. Once he gets back comfortable again, oh Lord, the league is going to be in really big trouble. Um, you know, this was a great game, and it was a great game. The Pelicans played great. I wasn't really disappointed with anything that the Knicks did, except for the defense. I thought could have been better. However, like I said before, Pelicans are a very solid offensive team, very young, very good offensive team, and so they were going to put up some points. And they fought like hell. They fought really well, but the Knicks were able to pull this out and come out on top. And also the Knicks, the fact that they were able to make the adjustment towards the end, not to continue forcing it to Julius Randle, but to look at other options. And what happened? Like we had RJ Barrett, who was playing a great game before he actually took over the game late in that fourth quarter. He was already playing a great game, and it was easy to basically to switch him. Like, okay, normally we have Julius bring us home, but you know what? RJ Barrett is playing a great game. Let him bring us home right now because he's the one who's got it. And he did an excellent job. He did an excellent job. Great win by the Knicks. Let me know what you think about this content. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll be more than happy to respond to your comments. Talk to you guys soon.